Hello, my name is Deacon Randy Skeate, and I am entering my last year at the St. Paul Seminary as a Theology 4 deacon, and I'm a seminarian for the Archdiocese of St. Paul, Minneapolis, here at the National Eucharistic Congress. It's been a beautiful experience of unity. Definitely a lot of the speakers, the first day of the conference, first evening when all the pilgrims were gathered together, they emphasized that the Eucharist is the sacrament of unity, and we've come from literally every corner of our country, the United States, even some from different parts of the world. Bishops, priests, deacons, lay faithful, everyone, religious. And what unites all of us is the Blessed Sacrament. And I've been able to witness that certainly at every moment in the Congress here. Even with different languages, for example, I went to Spanish Mass this morning, and it's the same faith, it's the same presence of Jesus that we celebrate. And even interactions with people when I'm in line getting food, having meals, just beautiful interactions, sharing how our lives have been transformed by the Eucharist. Right before coming here, I was interacting with another deacon, permanent deacon at my table, and was able to just share with him my experience of ministry so far as a deacon just this summer, getting ready for priesthood, and he was just he's like, I'm sorry if I'm taking up your time, but I want to pick your brain on your experience of encouraging priestly vocations or encouraging just young men or young people who want to fall in love with Jesus. Like, what's been your experience? And it's been beautiful being able to share with him not just the beautiful things I've experienced, but how the Eucharist was the center of that, and even just the center of my own heart, my own life, of how God started planting the seeds of priestly vocation, priestly discernment in my own heart. So that was very good, just to, again, be my own personal witness to Him. Young people are hungering, we're all hungering, but especially young people are hungering for authenticity, to be fully themselves. And when other Christians, when other Catholics can do that together, and when the Lord is at the center of it, the Lord will start diffusing those seeds. And that's what I really emphasized with him, is in my own experience too, the Eucharist is the center of that, and I was hungering for other witnesses, other friends my age, who were able to lead me along that path of faith and growing together. And the Eucharist can do that, because the Eucharist grows in our presence with Him. My first real encounter with the Lord was actually in Eucharistic adoration during my confirmation year, confirmation retreat. That was the very first moment where I started to just unravel slowly my whole heart before the Lord. And the little tiniest prayer I prayed to Him, I said, Jesus, I believe you're present here on this altar, in the Eucharist, in this monstrance. And I know that you've created me and you want to receive all of me. So Jesus, I'm going to open up this door of my heart to you. And in that moment, that little open door, the love and overwhelming, peaceful presence of Jesus just flooded my whole life, my whole heart. And I just experienced nothing but his peace and his encouragement in the midst of my own inadequacies and weaknesses. He met me there, and all he wanted to do was love me there. And from that moment on, in that experience of adoration, I knew that God was real, and not only was he real, but that he had a radical, beautiful, unique plan for my own heart, and he wanted to be the source of that, and I didn't want nothing more but to follow that in my own life. And really, it was from that moment of adoration that he started encouraging this desire of serving him in the Eucharist and serving his people as a spiritual father. We all desire ultimately relationship, communion, union with other people, living people. And technology can be a great motivator for that. It can even provide that relationship, that communion to an extent, but it only has a limit. And I think now, being saturated with screens and connectivity in a sense, we're starting to realize that there's a limit to that, and many young people might feel stuck in their experience, what's lacking with that connection, that communion that they're wanting to receive, but they're not receiving it fully, having that satisfied through technology and screens and everything. But the Eucharist, again, is sacrament of communion, Holy Communion. We receive the fullness of God, body, blood, soul, divinity, and we're communing with another person, the living person of Jesus, who is present there. It's still in a veil, veiled under the appearance of bread and wine, but we desire more fully to just be satisfied by that presence of Jesus who gives himself to us. And so I think the Blessed Sacrament, presence of Jesus in the Eucharist is, again, foretaste of heaven, where we're going to be face to face in complete, perfect relationship with God for all eternity. Nothing's going to be lacking there. And our life on earth here, broken as it is, but redeemed as it is, Jesus meets us there in our hunger, and he gives us himself, his own flesh, blood, his entire Godhead for us to receive and commune with.